Today's final paper point 5, Baba says, even now the task of establishment is Brahma's, not yours. Even now you children will be sustained through Brahma. Brahma's part will continue until the end of the establishment. You children must now be wondering how there will be study through Brahma now. In fact, because of your stage, the questions of why and what, etc., should not arise. Never mind just questions. Within some children, an ocean of upheaval has begun. Only a few have passed this first paper. Have a little patience. Since the knowledge is imperishable and the study is imperishable, why is there the fluctuation of questions? All this is being explained to you to finish the upheaval. Class will continue as it has been up to now. What will be spoken? The body of Brahma had been fixed, and so the murlis that were spoken through that body will always be the murlis. The little service that takes place through the trance messengers cannot be called murlis. That does not have the magic of the murlis. There is magic in the murli of bapdada. So, you have to revise all the murlis that have already been spoken. Post will continue to be sent to the main centers from Abu as always. Do you remember the murli that was spoken a year ago? You probably do not even remember the murli you read yesterday. Some points are such that even though you read them many times, they don't stay in the intellect. This is why the connection through murlis and letters will remain as it was. You will come to Madhaban to be refreshed as you have been. Now the question arises, what will you do? Who will you come to meet? How will you be refreshed? You must have a close connection with the lucky stars, those who are the main instruments, and bring the results of your centers, any problems, whatever progress there has been to those instruments in Madhuban. And also bring to Madhuban the new flowers that have blossomed in the garden in order to give them a vision of the gathering. Together with this, Bapdada will serve fully through the trance messenger who is fixed. Are there any more questions? You must be thinking that people will say that your Brahma has gone away in less than 100 years. This is a very easy question. It's not difficult. His age was nearly 100. The fact that 100 years have been mentioned is not wrong. If there are any left, he will complete them in the angelic form. The part of establishment through Brahma is for 100 years. Those 100 years have to be completed, but until then, after the part of physical Brahma, the part of the Brahmins has now to continue. Why did Brahma create Brahmins? Will Brahma not see his own creation in the future? Will he not give you the crown of responsibility at the confluence age? Otherwise, how will you become the deities of the golden age? All the responsibility here lays the foundation for there. This is why give the reply to whoever asks you children questions that the establishment through Brahma has to continue. The time of the end of the children's study has come very close. This signal has been given to you in each murli since Mamma left. Is one given the date or moment of a paper beforehand? If you are told about this beforehand, would that be called a paper? A paper is that which takes place suddenly. What did Baba see in the result? No one passed fully. There was a little weakness seen in each one. Even then, it's very good because this is still the time for efforts. According to that, the result can only be said to be good. But both Bap and Dada were pleased about one thing. What was that? Children gave the proof of both a gathering and of love. Brahma was seeing from the subtle region how everyone was when they came, the intoxication with which they came, and in what stage they were meeting. Both Bap Dada together were seeing this result. So each one should see the self and remove the weaknesses from within the self. And all of you know who is the instrument for all of you from today. Didi is the main one already, and Kumarka is her helper. All the administration will be carried on from the headquarters as it has been. Both of them will continue to look after all of you. If there is a need, they will continue to tour your centers. But what is the paper now? That paper came suddenly. But now you are being told about the paper that is yet to come. Now come into relationships with unity whilst being introverted and stable in the avyakt stage. Bapdada will see the result of the paper he is telling you about. Everyone must have heard and must also remember the teachings given at the end through the body of Brahma. So today you have come into this gathering to give something and to take something. So are those who have come to take ready to give something? Those of you who have the thought in your heart that you don't know what is going to happen, that nothing serious will happen, raise your hands. If all of you are content, then those who take something will also be content in giving. Today, you have to give the donation of two things in the midst of the gathering. What are those two things? One main thing is that from today you must not see, hear, or keep within your heart the defects of others. If your attention is drawn to something about any sister or brother, you can ask the ones who are the instruments to give them a signal. Secondly, in order to shake your faith, some people will say things and raise the sound that now they will see how this institution carries on. However, those people do not know that your support is imperishable. And when anyone tries to shake you, you must also pay attention to this. There is the praise of Kalpago, of your being unshakable, like Angad. They were unable to move even his foot. Only those children who have such faith in the intellect and who are unshakable and constant will pass in the last paper that is yet to come. There are all these Brahmins that have been created through Brahma. So, does a father not retire when the children have grown up? So now, just think that Baba in the retired stage is with you. Having given you children the task, he will continue to observe. He left the body, but he did not let go of the hand and the company. He has not let go of the hand and company of the intellect. That will remain constantly and eternally. The two things that you have been told are firstly, to give the donation of not fluctuating, and secondly, to give the donation of not seeing defects. If all the children pay attention to these two things, then because you have had the thought, that is, you have given them away, and anything that is given away in thought is never taken back. Even if Maya tries to make you take it back, you check yourself and then you will pass. Om Shanti.